Steph, what's up? Anthony Slater with The Athletic. Where do you think it went most wrong tonight?
From the start, we had good energy, good intentions. Obviously, knowing how good, Brooklyn is across the board, all the playmakers, and, the way Katie and Kyrie came out the gate. But I think we got a little frustrated with our shots not falling in the first quarter. We had some good looks, and missed a bunch of them, and it kind of deflated us a little bit. And that, in turn, took our edge off on the defensive end. And against a team like that, they're going to expose you if you don't apply any pressure or, be physical or come with any type of edge on that end of the floor. And you look up, 6 minutes left, you're down double digits. You knew it was going to be a tough task if you let them get off to a good start like that. And kind of rest was history.
Steph, what was it like for you to go up against KD again?
Awful. Got our butts beat across the board. So one game, we'll figure it out. But I don't want to put too much on this one. We're still figuring each other out. And with KD out there, like the way he looked like he was, all the way healthy, confident in his body. So it's good to see, obviously, from a health standpoint. That means a lot. To come off an injury like that.
Hey, Steph. What is your mentality when things are not going well for you? How you maintain focus in these type of games?
It's pretty easy just in terms of it's 1 of 72, but we, obviously have to do something about, our performance next game, coming out, learning from tonight, hopefully getting off to a better start so that we can build some type of momentum, and especially on the road, even without fans, it's still a tough task to mount a comeback like that. So you have to start the games better. Body language and just everybody staying mentally committed has to be there. Come in tomorrow, watch the film, do what every team that gets beat like that does, and find a way to respond. We got to test our resiliency right out the gate.
Steph, what did you think of Wiseman's debut, and were you shocked to see how aggressive he was, even though it was a debut?
I wasn't shocked to see that. He showed that in practice and in our scrimmages. Very confident in what he can do. So, it's good to see him just get his feet wet, get some reps in, and obviously in the fourth quarter he showed a little bit of a skill set what he can do inside and out. So just getting him hopefully as comfortable as possible, as quick as possible. And, 24 good minutes to start his career, it was a big step for him individually.
Steph, in your mind, what's going to be key to getting back to that team that's feasting in transition and ratcheting up the tempo the way you want to?
You got to get stops eventually, especially a team like this is kind of deflating, taking the ball out the basket and every possession. That's something that we talked about in preseason, and we showed a little bit through those 3 games that defensively, when we're flying around, we're aggressive, using our length and speed and athleticism, that we can turn that into easy offense. And tonight, that's all they did was, just come down. They're very comfortable getting to their spots, making, tough shots, open shots, second chance points, pretty much everything. And it's hard to really build any type of offensive momentum when you're not impacting the game on the other end.
Steph, Cassidy, how about you? And Coach Kerr said that you guys look like a team that had practiced for just 2 weeks. How much are you putting this performance on the lack of time you guys have spent together so far?
That's a part of it, but I think for us, these last 5 years, I'll take last year out of it, we've had high expectations coming out of the gate every year in terms of understanding our identity and understanding how we're going to be successful. And there's a confidence in that for sure. This year it's different. We've talked about we're going to get better every year. Every game, every week, and that's something we can expect. Now we have to test our resiliency in terms of getting, punched in the mouth. How do we respond? It's the Christmas Day game against Milwaukee. Obviously, another great Eastern Conference team with a lot of talent. We got to bring some edge and competitiveness and continue taking strides. And only we'll be able to to judge what that looks like, win or lose.
Hey, Steph, Kylan with Cron 4 News. You guys definitely looked like at times tonight you weren't on the same page. As a leader of this team, how do you try to build the team chemistry moving forward when you've got several pieces, James Wiseman, Kelly Oubre, Wiggins, you haven't played with, when it's just a group that has not played together before?
You got to be communicating every second of the practice, the game, the locker room, continue to talk the game out and build confidence and chemistry. I mean, considering we got beat by 30, the locker room was pretty upbeat in terms of understanding it's a long journey, and everybody has to stay engaged. So from the coaches to the players, it's just about communication, being truthful about where we didn't show any effort or execution on certain possessions, and call those things out, hold ourselves accountable, and just continue to get better. So everybody has to just stay locked in.
Hey, Steph, Kyle Johansson.
Go ahead.
Hey, Steph, Kyle Johansson from SFist. Not going to lie, I was half waiting to see if you were going to pull from the logo on your first possession like you and Damon talked about. But all joking aside, with the way that you make shots and warm-ups from all over the floor, is there a line, a place that you and Coach Kerr have talked about or marked where your green light ends, or is it just more an unspoken trust in your decision-making?
That's all on me, just shooting shots that I think I can make. That's pretty much what I do all the time. So if I shoot it, it's because I think I can make it.
Steph, you it seemed like wherever you drove, they had a concentrated group of black jerseys waiting for you. So you hadn't played against that in a long time. Did that feel normal? Did it feel like same old defense type of styles? And do you think you'll need to be a little bit more aggressive earlier on while your team gets a rhythm offensively?
I watched the film and figured out it did feel like that, but I think more so I know I can get shots off pick and rolls. Sometimes if a double is a little bit more aggressive, I can give it up. But I think a majority of my shots were when I was the primary ball handler, which is fine, and I got to balance those type of opportunities and be aggressive. But I think we got to work on just when I give the ball up and the team is trying to play, high side aggressive, making sure I don't get it back, that we continue to create good offense off of those possessions. And, that's where we can kind of continue to build our chemistry. That's where I got to be patient and, see the floor a little bit better when I don't have the ball in my hand. So we'll get better at that. I think I said it before the season. Every game will expose a little something about what I need to do differently and better, and what our team needs to do differently and better, and we'll make those adjustments.
Stephen, Andrew's reputation, and tonight he had a rough start to his season. What do you guys need from him to get where you want to get to?
Stay aggressive. I mean, you can look at the stat line; it's not great, but in terms of his confidence and aggressiveness when he has a ball in his hands, he's got to create, shots for himself and shots for others. And I really don't care what, it looks like at the end of the day, because he'll continue to get more comfortable in that position. Kelly the same way. So that's what we were talking about on the bench tonight. Stay aggressive. Don't worry about your shooting percentage. Don't worry about stats. Just keep playing, keep seeing the game, keep being aggressive, and that's how we build confidence and get better from game to game. So we've all had bad shooting nights, and it just so happened that, we're in a big spotlight, starting out the season. Friday will be, kind of the same thing.
What did you think of your initial work with Wiseman in the high screen game?
I thought it was solid. They got pretty good shots in the first half. I think we've continued to get better with our timing and understanding angles and all that type of stuff. But he's a presence, and I think he showed exactly how he can open up the floor for me in the middle of those pick and rolls and put pressure on the rim. And I think a lot of it was kind of me having to make a decision in the paint. That mid-range type of situation. Those are pretty good shots that I probably should take, and then sometimes it'll open up his lob threats and stuff like that. So we'll continue to get better at those reps and make the right plays.
Did you just say you should take the mid range?
I should take what the defense is giving me, and sometimes it is the mid range. And I've heard there's a pretty good research on my stats in the mid range game, so I'll continue to get better at it.
Just seeing if you read it. That's all.
Absolutely.
All right.